What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of what's the name of the show again? Stadia Live Session. I know the name of this damn show. But with no further ado, I want to shout out you, the chat. You know what I'm saying? We had oh my gosh, we had a super explosive episode of what's the name of the damn show? SLS featured. No. Sound. This is SLS featured MM2K. We had a super explosive episode of Sound Off. Man, oh man, oh man. And I didn't want to have to do that to old boy. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But we had to do it, man. Homie was violating. He was violating too damn much. And as for those of you that don't know, Sound Off is our member show. That's uncut, it's unfiltered, and it's hard hitting. And we had to not only pull these are journalists. We not only had to pull this one journalist cards, but we had to pull the card on a whole nother publication as well. I didn't want to have to do it. But like I said, I didn't come here to lick on the same lollipop with other people and hold hands and run down fields. I came here to expose the truth and stomp on the lies. You know what I mean? So for those of you that are interested to figure out what we're talking about and be part of those discussions, definitely become part of the member family. $1.99 in a dream. That's it. You know what I mean? We have to put this stuff behind a wall because, again, what we've learned in the previous years is that, we're a peculiar few. Us here that listen, for those of you that follow this content and like what we do here on this platform, we're a peculiar few. And everybody's not ready for what we offer here. And shout out to the homie Brian, who when he was doing the Vaxxas channel, he said, MM2K, he may say things that you don't want to hear, but you need to hear. When people are talking to me, as long as they're being straightforward and honest, and not just trying to throw barbs just to throw barbs, you can give it to me raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we do here. We're not playing any more games. There's people that are going to say things, even at the media level. They're going to say things. They can't get over their emotions, can't get over themselves. And, I'm not just going to sit there and let it go by because they found some way to make some friends. You know what I mean? No, you're not going to disrupt people's purchasing choices, for your own agendas. Can't have that. We here at StadiaDosage, our goal isn't to get you to change your mind and like Stadia. Our goal is to get you informed about Stadia and possibly B, for you to just try it. Once you try it, our job is done. You know what I mean? But I definitely want to give a shout out to the chat. And if y'all could do me a super huge favor, because I was so focused on some other things that I didn't tweet this out and let the people know we were going live. But let everybody know that we're live. So I want to give a shout out to Psalmist Pro. Shout out to Psalmist. He says, yo, Geek the Sneak said, let's go. We got Collins Dynasty in the house. He says, hello. Yeah, Dusty. Yeah, Dusty's always there. Shout out to Dusty Duran. He's there for the footage. He's always there for the footage. He was there for Sound Off. He says fire discussion and Sound Off, man. Yeah, we had to do it. It's unfiltered, y'all. Just gotta let you know. Don't play it by grandma. Put granny to bed. You know what I mean? And your mama knows, since the Cowboys in the building, my brother MM. Good to see you as always. We got cloud validation now. This is yo MM2K. MM, can you can steal my phrase. You're not here to babysit grown man feelings. I don't want to just say grown men. And you know what it is, cowboy? it's not just feelings. It's like, hey man, don't come after my friend. I noticed a lot of that here. But see, I was brought into this game differently. I was brought in this game to where we as friends with the broadband bullies, we come at each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about the fact. If you out here spitting some nonsense, you on your own, bucko. Like, it was all about us making sure that we kept to the integrity of the facts. So if you wanted to go out here on your own and make some hoopla, I don't care if we were just playing hopscotch together and sharing a Sunday, you on your own. That'll keep your ass in check and make sure you're not out here just saying anything. But if you are spitting the facts and you just being tag team, oh yeah, I'm hopping in the ring with you. And that keeps it honest. And I want friends like that. I don't want friends out there that just make me, that's stroking my mane and making me feel like that I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Tell me about it. So that's what it is. Is people like, I like this guy. I like him. What if he's lying? I don't give a rat's ass if you like him. He's lying to other people. And I care about the integrity of the facts, regardless if it's affecting someone that I know or I don't know. Because I wish long ago that somebody cared about me that way when I would walk into stores like Best Buy or whatever and try to purchase something and had the Geek Squad or the Geek Wads. I'm sorry, Best Buy. I'm sorry. The Geek Squad tell me, well, that doesn't exist. But meanwhile, I just had it in my hand. What do you mean it don't exist? Aren't you guys supposed to be the smartest out of the bunch? So, y'all know I love Best. Well, I love Best Buy Canada. Shout out to John Score. I love Best Buy Canada. How about that? Maybe that'll ease tensions. But when people care about the facts, regardless of who you are, like there's plenty of times I've been in GameStops and I've seen clerks tell people wrong information just to get a sale or just to get them out of their way because they had to go stock something. I'm that annoying guy that's in GameStop that's like, you might not want that because I heard your kids say this, that, and the other. I'm that annoying guy because I wish somebody would have cared about me and me not waste hundreds of dollars on stuff that really wasn't for me, but somebody just had misinformed me just to get me the heck out of the way. You know what I mean? So I know you feel my pain at times, cowboy. But really, what it is, cowboy, it's not emotions. It's I'm gonna defend my friend's honor. No, your friend should come out here and speak the facts. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. So, but I appreciate that. Sanchez, good to see you back. He says, hey, MM2K, how are you? I'm doing great, man. Woo! I'm doing great. You want to know why? I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great. Woo! I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, boy! I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Yeah, boy! Yeah. Thank you for that, though. I appreciate you, good brother. Thank you for that one. Yeah, who else we got in here? We got Jason Lloyd in the house. He says, hello and good vibes, man. Appreciate you for that. Kyle Validation says, no white knights here, just truth warriors. Yes, that's right. We're the truth warriors. I like that. He says, sell you something just because another company is paying them to promote it. No thanks. Excellent. Yeah, no. Geek to sneak shots out Jason Lloyd as well. I love to see that, man. It's a family affair. All right, everybody, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. And do me a favor real quick, y'all. Do me a favor real quick. And if you're watching this on VOD, do me a favor. Because YouTube does this thing to where their algorithm kind of maneuvers things out of the way and you may not realize it. I've had people come up to me recently and say, MMTK, I didn't even know you went live. Oh man, I missed it. And I'll be like, well, didn't you hit the bell? You should have got a notification on your phone. I hit that a long time ago. Just something ain't working. I'm like, nah, check it. Check it. My notification bell is gone for you. Yeah, Google did that. Check your notifications bells right now, guys and gals. Do yourselves a huge favor. Sometimes YouTube will remove it. Like, for instance, great show in the morning. Shout out to the homie Squid. Squid will do his show in the morning, and people will be like, "Ooh, Squid's show is on. I'm gonna go catch it in the afternoon." The statistics show this. A lot of people, Squid got his followers in the morning, but then a bulk of his followers come in the afternoon. Great show, because people are at work. You know what I'm saying? They can't listen to it, in the morning or whatever. They want to, and they want to indulge in it completely. They want to do it uninterrupted. They don't want to miss anything of it. So they come at home. They wait till at home to indulge. So when that notification comes out, and you may not necessarily jump and go to the show, Google says, "Oh, well, they must not want to get notification bells anymore," and they shut it off for everything. I wish Google would just do the manual intervention where it needs to on this stuff, or YouTube rather. I don't want to blame Google, but I wish YouTube would do the manual intervention on this stuff where it needs to, and not just make those assumptions, right? So check them notification bells. Make sure that everything is good and in its proper place. Who else we got? We got Christopher Torres. Now he's a yo listening. He got his bell set up. Cowboy says, "I feel that." Albert Smith said 100% facts. Clavy Linden, he said, "Great pro titles for April. You ain't lying. If you lying, I'm flying." Yeah. Those some great pro titles. Woo wee. Hold on, I might just cry on set for like 30 seconds. Y'all know I got my games that I'm hoping will come into the platform. Like, I'm very confident. I don't have no concrete proof at all. Got, some little inklings and some things, but I have no concrete proof that Dying Light 2 is coming. I'm positive though. In my feelings, I'm positive. That's it. I have no proof. I'm also, after seeing Harry Potter, woo! Yes, you got to bring that to the platform. Those are the things that I know that I'm hopeful are coming. But the things that I'm knowing that are coming, that I can't wait for, Division Heartlands. Can't wait for that. X Defiant. Whoa, my God! I can't talk to you about the experience because I'm under NDA. All I'm going to say is, whoa, my God. A little birdie told me that a lot of you Stadians, when this game hits, that it's a possibility y'all ain't going to give two rats, you know what, that Call of Duty ain't coming to Stadia if that Activision deal comes through. I'm just saying. I've been known to say some crazy things. I've been known as a lunatic. They call me that in my house. I'm just saying. Woo, my God. Hey, Bippity Bop, Ray Sherrod, Bippity Bop can attest to what I'm saying to a degree. I terrorized Project Storm can too. I almost lost their friendships over that game. I terrorized them. Are y'all gonna play X Defiant or not? I was getting nasty. They haven't seen the nasty side of MM2K. I was getting nasty. Are y'all playing or what? Well, you know what? I'm about to eat the sandwich I haven't eaten all day. I don't care about that. Are we playing X Defiant or not? Yeah, I got belligerent. I lost a lot of friendship chips over that game, and that's all I played. I haven't played a game including Division 2, and I was grinding all weekend on that global event, y'all. It was a hell of a global event for Division 2, but I haven't played a game that hard. I lied to my wife. Baby, did you take out the garbage? That garbage better be out when I come home. Yeah, it's out. Garbage laying all across my feet. Laying all across the feet and the floor. I just kicked it to the side so I could play some X-Defiant. I've never played a game as extensively as I have that game. And I don't even like PvP. I don't even like it. That's how much I played that game. So that's one game that I can't wait, that I know is coming. Death Carnival. Woo! Jeez, oh, Jesus. Yeah, I've seen enough of that game. Yeah, I can't wait till Death Carnival comes. And another one was, and third on that bucket list, baby, was, woo, 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 yeah, boy, was this World War Z Aftermath. And it's coming April 1st. And it's a pro game. Oh, God. Yeah. Y'all might have to, I don't know when it's going to happen. Y'all might have to afford me 30 seconds at some point in time during this podcast for me to just cry. But can you do me a favor? Maybe I'll cut out the crying if you share this out. Let everybody know that we're live. Jesus. Jesus, help us all. All right. Let's get to some more of the chat before I give you my thoughts on overall what I grade this. And it's going to be a bit controversial. So I want y'all to get your popcorn ready, get your pitchforks ready. It's going to be controversial, but you got to hear me out. I think if you hear me out, you'll understand where I'm coming from. All right. But shout out Jason Lloyd responds back to Geek to Sneak. Cloud Validation says the old YouTube shuffle hustle. Yeah, the old rope-a-dope. I'm straight on the. Okay, appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you. G Million in the house. G Million, what's going on? Good to see you, good brother. Victor Del Maestro. Hi, hey Vic. Vic, let me say something about Vic. This is why I love Vic. Me and Vic have had plenty of battles, right? Vic, we've had plenty of, and they were all good-spirited battles, by the way. There was never any ill will. I love my brother Vic. He's been a supporter since like day one. I started out at the grip arguing with Vic. You know what I'm saying? And been loving my brother ever since. Vic came on our show. Listen to me, I'm kidnapping the show like it's mine. No, my good brother John Scar honored me with an opportunity to come on a special episode of Stadium Connect North, where we interview the developers of the Deliver Us the Moon. It was a great episode. If you missed that, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you. You got so much great content yesterday. You got that interview. You got the show with my brother, my spiritual advisor, Clavy Linden yesterday, just mapping out the Stadia keynote in a way. We don't have enough time to go. You just gotta watch the show. But he mapped it out in a way only like Clav can do, but it's all factual. You gotta check that stuff out. All right. And then today you're getting some great entertainment. You start off with Squid, right? Then the homie Rock and Company did their reaction show. Meanwhile, we were in the background yelling and calling people names and sound off, and now we're here with another great episode of this open mic session, and where I'm going to answer your questions. So you got a lot of great content in these last couple of days, and a lot of good reason. But let me get back to Vic. So during the show, Vic asked the developers, "Is this game going to be a Stadia Pro game?" And we didn't think it was going to be a Stadia Pro game because there was something that said that Deliver Us the Moon was coming the 22nd of April. So we figured, you got to buy it. Okay, fine, whatever. It's a great game, award-winning game, I believe. And I'm sitting there watching Vic, and I'm like, Vic, stop being a cheap mamma jamma. Stop asking. Don't ask anything like that here. It's the Stadia Pro game. Sometimes you just gotta let the chat be the chat and let them ask stuff. This is great stuff. Sometimes you can get some insight. We don't have all the answers here. We don't know. So I just thought that was funny that Vic had called to, is it going to be a Stadia Pro game? I said, shit, Vic, put your coupons back in your pocket. Everything can't be $1.99, man. Come to find out it wasn't, but it's a great value. Great value. Wow, you can't beat that with a stick. Let's get, my brother, and your mama knows with the $5 super chat. He says, this is to save my MM feelings and X Defiant when I rip his soul. Hey, yo, I seen what you tried to do to my brother, John Scar and Jack Deslip. I'm gonna tell you, a cowboy, I'm gonna tell you, I ain't going out like that. I ain't going, what's that old Cypress Hill song? I ain't going out like that. I ain't going out like that, bucko. I played too much of that damn X Defiant, even though I generally suck at PvP. You gonna have a hard one to handle. Bro, that almost made me, there's a service, and if y'all know about the service, let me know. I really would like to advertise it if it works. There was a group out of UK that is modifying Stadia controllers. And I have an Xbox Pro controller, Elite, with the paddles and the stuff in the back. And I said, you know what? As much as I love my Stadia controller, when it comes to these shooters, I gotta have I gotta deck my Stadia controller out. I gotta get some paddles in the back and stuff like that. So I was actually thinking about buying another controller and sending it there to UK, but I don't know how well the service works. So if y'all let me know, if y'all have utilized it, somebody let me know. Because yeah, I'm gonna be, hey, look, I'm gonna tell you, and Cowboy, you might say that's an unfair advantage. I don't care. I don't care. I will cheat. See, Jack and John, they have honor. I just have goals. I just want to win. I don't care. I'm gonna put paddles on the back. I'll put a wheel on the back of the damn controller. You know what I'm saying? I'll put a bumper. I'll put a thumb reader to where if I put my thumb on there, it'll do 6 actions all at once. I don't care. I'll cheat if I got to. I ain't going out like that, cowboy. But we can set it up. I know. And shout out to Jeff. Tell Jeff we can make it an extravaganza. Because we gotta do more. We gotta do more things, man. We gotta do more things in the community. I know I'm bambling all over the place. I'm just so excited. But we gotta do more things in the community. Like we got Stadia Bash community doing great stuff every damn day. Definitely check them out. But even as an extension to what Stadia Bash is doing, like having these weekends where Stadia gamers are getting together and putting events together, that's great. So when that X Defiant come out, we gotta have a 1v1 competition, Cowboy. We gotta do some. We'll set it up. We'll have a 1v1 competition, something coming out. You know what I'm saying? To celebrate all these damn games. Cause like we always said, what did we say back in the day, Cowboy? Just shut up and play. What was the slogan? It's about time to do that now. You know what I'm saying? Especially after a pro month like this, it's time to shut up and play. And it's time for me to shut up and get back to the chat. All right, what else the chat got in store here? What else the chat got here? Let me see. He said, I may catch chill times with Squids live because it helps me. Yeah, see, you can do that, Cowboy, to where a lot of people listen to it after the fact because they don't want to miss anything, to where you're able to do it because you can catch everything. And what YouTube takes that as is, they don't want to be notified about Stadia content, which is the farthest thing from the truth. You know what I'm saying? So what YouTube has to do is they got to tweak that algorithm. And then what it'll do is start shutting off all y'all notifications. That's why when we go live, a lot of y'all don't even know. So check that bell. Vic says, we got something good. Yeah, we got something good. Philip says, still waiting on Apex Legends. You know what, Philip? I'm still waiting to see what the future EA support's going to be. That's what we gotta see. We gotta see what that future EA support's gonna be. So I don't want to dampen the mood. Just saying, we ain't heard nothing yet. I'm hoping we gotta get another man in FIFA this year. We got to. I mean, those have to be staples. We can't have the whole 2K thing where we lost. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing we lost after. We gotta get that man back. You know what I mean? Let me see who else we got up in here. G Million says, confirm Elden Ring coming to Stadia. Stop playing. I can't stand G Million. Jason Lloyd says, looking forward to X Defiant. Oh my gosh. Why y'all trying to get me in trouble and get me sued? I'm not going to talk about the game. I'm just letting y'all know I'll reach out to Cowboy. We're gonna do some 1v1 tournaments or just do some team TDM, whatever, something. That's all I can say. Geek to Sneak says, I'm excited. Yes, I'm excited for Wise. Wise, I know better. Ease 9, Monstrum Knox. Yeah, man. Whoo, Jesus. Man, what a lineup. Sanchez says, how is that petition for Elden Ring going? You know what? At first I laughed and I chuckled at that and I said, oh, but here's why I applaud the effort, but I don't think it's enough. Like, I think the petition is for 1,000. Ain't nobody gonna listen to that. Or 2,000. That thing has to be 10,000. And I think we got enough. If it goes to 10,000, it's going to be shocking, because there's a lot of people don't even think that 10,000 people are on Stadia, even though Stadia reached $750,000 monthly active users by the end of 2020. There's a lot of people out there that don't think Stadia even has 10,000 followers that would sign a petition. So we make that, I tell you what, whoever's behind that petition, if you make the petition 10,000, make the petition 10,000. And if we reach that 10,000, I think you'll see some success with things like that. And from ongoing, if we make it 10,000, I bet you might see some movement on some stuff. Christopher Torres says X-Defiant is going to be dope. Yeah, I wish I could say more, brother. Yeah, there is a petition out there. I saw it. What else we got out here before we get started? Mr. 1030 in the house says, send me a couple of controllers. I'll modify them for you. Make them invisible. I can dig it. You shouldn't even told me the last part. You should have just... And I would have said, where's the modification? Oh, I did mod them. I made them invisible. That's funny. I like that. Let me see here. Bulls for life in the houses. I'm ready. Let's go. Where do I sign? Yeah, if somebody can drop the link, one of the mods can drop a link to the petition in here. And let's get it up. If y'all know who's behind it, if it's a stadium that we know, tell them to bump that mug up to 10,000, man. I'll sign it. I'll promote it. We'll put it on PNTS Network. But right now, having it at 2,000 or 1,000, it's not going to move the needle. Perfect. It's just something that's going to get talked about. Get that mug to 10,000. Jack and I will do what we can to push it. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll grab enough news for people to say, oh, there's 10,000 people on stage. Oh, okay. Let's do the math real quick. It's 40,000. I mean, damn, it's $40. Oh, come on, MM2K. It's 40. It's $40, right? So if there's 10,000 people, I should know this. That's $400,000 for Bandai Namco. And at least they can say that. They'll crunch the numbers and they'll say, oh, okay, that's at least $400,000 in revenue that we'll get. You see what I'm saying? You see why you gotta be at certain levels in order to make some movement here. Shout out to the homie again with the $5 super chat, and your mom knows. He says, this is for having me crack up at my desk talking about cheating. You about to get me fired and boot up and shut up. Hey, look, man, like I said, I don't have morals. I just have goals. I ain't going out like that. I will concede, Cowboy, that in all likelihood, you are the superior gamer. That ain't no problem for me. But I'm going to still win. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I got gold. And hashtag I got gold. I don't have morals. I got goals. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out for that. I appreciate it, good brother. All right, let's get the show started. I'm going to talk about, let's talk about it. Stadia Pro. And while I'm putting this up here, while I'm talking about it, I'm going to put you guys' thoughts up here. ask a question. What do you rank this week's? Oh, Jesus Christ. Come on. That kind of looked kind of creepy the way I was typed out. What do you rank this week's TWoS blog? All right, we got A. Hold on. We got A, B, option, C, option, or D. All right, let's put it up there. What do y'all rank this week on Stadia? What do y'all rank it? Let's go back to it. Let's talk about it, y'all. All right, so let me read. For those of you that live under a rock, that maybe didn't see this blog post, let me read it for you. It says, this week on Stadia, game launches galore. Get ready to expand your library and your gaming skills. We've got a ton of new games and our April Stadia Pro lineup headed your way in the coming weeks. Let's dive in. Experience intense gameplay in World War Z Aftermath. Let's take a look at World War Z Aftermath. Take a look at it. Woo! Look at that. Can't beat that with a stick. All right. And let's see what else we got here. We got Deliver Us the Moon. Gets delivered to Stadia Pro. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so this is interesting. It says World War Z Aftermath hit Stadia Pro during the first week of April. Doesn't say April 1st, so just so we're aware of that. The first week of April. So it may not be available April 1. Okay. Deliver Us the Moon gets delivered to Stadia Pro. Earth's supernatural resources are depleted. A lone astronaut is sent to the moon to secure a promising new energy source. Welcome to the galaxy's most critical mission ever. A sci-fi space thriller set in the apocalyptic near future. Deliver Us the Moon comes to Stadia Pro April 1st. City of Legends, cool, point and click game. City of Legends comes on April 1st. Additionally, you don't want to miss Ease 9, Monstrum Nox, and Chicken Police, Painted Red, are being added to Stadia Pro and Library on April 1st for subscribers to claim and play. Also be sure to claim Ease 8, La Cremosa of Donna, Moonlighter, DreamWorks Spirit Lucky Big Adventure, and Crater Premium Edition. Oh, Crater's coming out prior to April 1st. Adventure Time Pirates of the in Rachi. All right, we got Trivial Pursuit Live 2. Far Cry 6 days with free play days coming this weekend. Assassin's Creed Valhalla Dawn of Ragnarok is now on Stadia. That's getting a lot of acclaim. And so that wraps it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's see some of the comments. Holy mother, this is one. Yeah, this is great. Yep, it's a great one. Amazing vlog as always. Great lineup this month. Massive twos. Yeah. You don't see. I was expecting the programs to be announced next Tuesday. This is a great lineup. Wow, March has been great on Stadia. Yeah, some good stuff. All right, so great stuff indeed. Yeah, I don't know. What is The Vanishing? Let me see if I can find The Vanishing. See what type of game is that? The Vanishing. It just says it don't even say of Ethan Carter, The Vanishing Game. I don't know what it just is. The vanishing. I see the vanishing of Ethan Carter. Is that what it's called? Or is it just called the, yeah, and they don't even mention, maybe that was a mistake. No, it's there. What is the vanishing? Is that a mistake? The vanishing gameplay. Maybe it's the vanishing of Ethan Carter. I don't know. I don't see that thumbnail, though. Yeah, interesting stuff. So maybe we'll get some more information on that. I don't know what the hell that is. But nonetheless, cool stuff altogether. So you guys are voting. I can already tell. God, don't forget to vote. Come on, y'all. We only got 12 votes. 20 of y'all watching. Go ahead and hit them votes, man. Let people know that we're live too. Here, let me send out another tweet. We are live. We are live talking to the community about today's big Stadia Pro announcements for April. Come join the discussion. All right. So I think we got enough people in here for me to make y'all all leave. All right, so we got 12 votes. Come on, can we get some more votes? Just the votes are anonymous. I don't get your phone number. I don't get your DNA tests. You know, I don't get none of that stuff. Just vote. Let us know where you're coming from. All right. So now this is going to be a little bit controversial. A lot of people are walking away from this and they're like, this is the best Stadia Pro ever. You know, this is a A+, this is an A, all that stuff, right? I am completely happy with what they dropped today, and I think it's fantastic. But I don't give it an A. Here's why. Hear me out. Don't leave yet. Just hear me out. I don't give it an A. Here's why. You gotta have room to grow. That's simply it. What do I mean by that? For those of you that may not know, for those of y'all that have heard this a billion times over, y'all, excuse me, I'm sorry. But for many of you may not know, a lot of my education, I went to a Catholic school, okay? And I cherish going to a Catholic school. And I put my kids through Catholic school as long as they would keep them. You know what I'm saying? Well, no. My youngest son, he, because of his, and again, this is not me boasting, because of his academic prowess, the Catholic school actually, in the way his brain is wired, they actually told me, they said, we can give him a great education, but we can't tap into everything that he could potentially do because we don't have the resources. I said, I get it, you know, because they live off of the diocese and they get donations. So I had to put him in what they call it magnet here in Pittsburgh. I had to put him in magnet school education where he got specialized education because really he was like he was grades ahead in his capabilities, but emotionally he was grades below. You understand what I'm saying? So it was a difficult thing to navigate. And so he got specialized schooling to address that talent and then that need. So, but that's here nor there. At the end of the day, though, I recommend anybody put their kids through Catholic school. Why? Because if you're living in the continent, if you're living in the United States, even if your kids go to a top tier public school, it's not going to match the level of education they're going to get at a Catholic school. Like the level of education they get at the Catholic school is the type of education that you see that we don't give our kids atypically, but they give kids out, in other countries. You know what I'm saying? So they're serious about it. They don't play. They're serious about school. And when I was in school, the teachers were very tough in grading things. Like if you get a D in a Catholic school, you fail. And the grade disparity, the gaps in the grades were smaller. Like here in a public school setting, anything from a 90 on to 100 is an A, 80 on to a 89 is a B. No. Catholic school, anything below a 94 isn't an A. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so on. It's very, very challenging. So I went through a Catholic school education. Then, as someone who's had to manage managers, I've had to work with my managers and work with them in a way to help them understand that it's good to give employees their flowers and tell them you're doing great, you're doing a good job. But always give them a goal to work towards to do higher, because if you feel like that you're good at everything and there's really nowhere, you've already reached your ceiling, then that's it. You're not going to, you might start slacking off or whatever the case may be. Always give somebody something to work towards. So even though I think this is a fantastic Stadia Pro lineup, I come from that school of thought to where, is there a better scenario? Yeah. And I if there's a better scenario, how can I give this an A+ if, let's just say, down the road, let's say Call of Duty doesn't get owned by Microsoft. And let's just say one day Call of Duty is a Stadia Pro game. You know what I'm saying? We get, or the next Resident Evil launches day and date in Stadia Pro. The next Resident Evil launches day and date in Stadia Pro. We get 2 more AA's. They're a little bit more sooner. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff that you're even seeing in Game Pass right now, right? Well, that as great as this is, that would be better though, right? Right. So I gotta imagine what would be the most mind-blowing possibility, and I gotta rank what I'm seeing to that most, plausibly, I gotta keep it plausible. The most plausibly mind-blowing possibility, which would be Stadia Pro getting heavily anticipated, highly ranked game day and date, AAA game day and date in Stadia Pro, along with a couple other AAA games and some highly rewarded other games, more recent games dropping in. And we're going to get to that point one day. Google's going to get there one day. These are just the early years. So it's going to be hard right now for me to give A+ or A's unless I see that. But World War Z is a great game. Ease 9 is a fantastic. I mean, this is the best scenario we can get right now. So under that, people may say, well, MM2TK, this is the best scenario we can get right now. So you should, I'm gonna settle for B+. Because a greater scenario would be, again, we get Dying Light drops, when Dying Light, if Dying Light comes this year, Dying Light dropping day and date in Stadia Pro. That's an A+. Not saying this ain't good. This is fantastic. This is great stuff. Fantastic stuff. But that's the way I grade things. If y'all notice, if y'all been following me long enough, I'm always tough on grading. So that doesn't mean that this isn't fantastic and it shouldn't be celebrated. I am happy as a kid in a candy store because I got my World War Z coming. You know what I'm saying? Now, was I hoping they would stealth drop it today? Yeah, I was, because I'm impatient, but it's better that it's coming to Stadia Pro. That's fantastic. With that said, let me check out the super chat from the homie, Purple Haze. He says, you're like that little league coach who doesn't even give kids pizza after the game. Yeah, I am. I am. Yeah, I come from that school of thought where I'm, because, you know, like one of my favorite movies, I love martial arts movies, right? And I think the greatest martial arts movie that I've ever seen is Raid Redemption, the second Raid. I love it. I give it a 4.4 out of 5. I refuse to give it 5 stars because there are things that could have been better in the movie. I've watched that movie. I rarely watch movies after one time. I've watched that movie about 15, 20 times. Like if I get bored, I'm like, there's nothing on TV, I put on Raid Redemption. Or no. Not Raid Redemption. Raid Bengal, the second one. My favorite martial arts movie of all time. I don't even give that a 5. So I'm very hard in my criticism, even with myself. May not seem like it, but even with myself. But yeah, I'm like the little league coach that won't even give. But for everybody that thinks it's an A, I'm not going to sit there and argue with you. Outside of my own stubbornness and my own difficult nature, yeah, this is. I mean, look at this lineup. Here, let's go back, and I'm gonna go to the chat and get your thought. Look at this lineup. I mean, you got everything covered here. You got City of Legends, where I think that's a great game. I would have said maybe a better pro game of City of Legends would have probably have been a kid's game. That would have made it a little bit more well-rounded out. But this is still City of Legends, which people, if you go look on Steam, it's got positive reviews. Deliver Us the Moon, which I believe is award-winning, and we sat down with the developers. Great discussion. Well, I ain't even gotta talk about World War Z Aftermath. Like, stop it. Chicken Police. You know, a lot of people like that game. And you're talking about Ease 9. I mean, look, I have people on the Xbox platform, an established platform, that are begging and crying. They're willing. If Ease 9 were to drop on Xbox tomorrow, I know a whole slew of people that would pay $200. If that was the price to play it, they would pay it. That's how critically acclaimed and desired RPGs. Like, if we got it, and we got it going into Stadia Pro, stop it. This is a hell of a Stadia Pro lineup. I'm just tough like that. I'm tough like that. So those are my thoughts, but I'm glad to see that out of the 28 votes, nobody voted D. Now somebody's gonna do it. Everybody seemed to be happy. Man, yeah, this is a hell of a lineup. But that's just me. I always vote and leave a little room for improvement. Not saying that this is bad at all, so you got to improve. No, I mean, like, if we got to be honest. If let's just say if Dying Light 2 did drop day and date in Stadia and it dropped in Stadia Pro, I mean, that would be mind blowing. We'd be jumping out of I couldn't even do a podcast. I would have lost my voice that day. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm leaving a little wiggle room there. But this is fantastic nonetheless. All right, with that said, let me go check out all the hate mail that I know I've gotten since my comment. Let's see here. And your mama knows says, but I am creating a Mad Streets League, and I'll be keeping score of who is the Mad Streets all-purpose champion, and I'm giving out yeah, okay, good. I'm glad you did. Can Cowboy, you're a mod here. Can you drop a link to that? Drop a link to that. Yeah, so Cowboys having a Mad Streets tournament. That's definitely good stuff. Purple Haze says, I'll be there. Good. Yeah, we need to do more stuff like that, community. I know way back in the day when I first came here, we had people organizing that, but we got to do more stuff. Like the Division 2, if I wasn't on the road so much, I would have called people in and said, let's tackle this global event together, which I'm pissed because I got so many points on that global event. I went to go watch a movie with my wife with all the intentions of waking up and spending my global event points before it ended, and I fell asleep for the whole night. I'm pissed. So not all of them, but a lot of those points I missed out on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm upset about that. Sanchez says positive comment so far. It's Far Cry 6 DLC. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, I didn't. Okay. Let me see if they put that in here. The Vanishing is Far Cry 6 DLC. Okay. That's cool. Okay. I thought it was a new game. All right. Oh, Stranger Things. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I read. Okay, now I see y'all. Aminar. The hell with you. The hell with you, Aminar. You cannot rain on our parade. Not today, Aminar. The hell with you. No, shout out to my bro Aminar, the ultimate Stadia hater. He said I voted for C. Who else we got up in here? She says, not the best, Purple Haze says, but when grading on the curve, it's a strong one. Yeah, I think this was a good mixture, a great one. And yeah, it's gonna be hard to top it. It's gonna be hard to top it. Albert Smith says, I was in the magnet program here in oh, okay. So they got magnet out of, yeah, they got magnet all over the place. Okay, so universal term. Well, you could tell I wasn't in no magnet program. You could tell I wasn't there. I was hanging by a thread in that Catholic school, boy. But I adore that education all the more. Cloud Validation says, I attended Catholic school all the way up to 7th grade. No, I got all the way up to 8th grade. And then they looked at in 9th grade, they looked at my grades and they said, bro, you passing by the skin of your teeth here. You got to go to public. we ain't even going to take your money anymore. Because you got to pay to go to a Catholic school. You have to pay. They get some resources from the diocese and the rest come from y'all. You got to pay. You know what I mean? And that makes you more invested in your children's education. When you got to pay. A lot of us take it for granted when it's free. They come up with these bad grades and we just go, he'll figure it out. If I'm paying $13,000 a year for your ass to go to school, we're going to figure this out tonight. You know what I'm saying? So that's why if you can afford it, if you got a good Catholic school around you, you can afford it. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. Purple Aces. L2K is making everybody rethink their life. Yep, I went to the Catholic school until 8th grade. Yeah, man. See, we got a lot of Catholic school babies in the house. Just because you receive an A doesn't mean you can't get another. True. This is John the Cowboy Killer himself is here. Where I didn't see. Oh, shout out to John. I always miss my brother John. Shout out to John. We had a hell of an interview yesterday. Well, he had a hell of an interview and he let me crash the party. It was great stuff. Wow. Stadium Connect North. Definitely, put that in your portfolio of listening repertoire. Definitely. And there's more to come. John, I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm gonna shut my damn mouth, but there's more to come. All right. Sean L said, I'll give you that MM2K. Thank you. I gotta get a little something. I appreciate it. I gave it a B as well. Yeah, I give it a B plus, not because I'm like, oh man, there's something missing. No, it's just that I'm holding out, and I know it, may not be tomorrow, but I'm holding out for that A plus, which is again, Dying Light 2 launches in Stadia Pro. Oh, I'm jumping out my shoes and socks. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So another thing I want to talk about too is I find it ironic, and for those of you that were there for this episode of Sound Off, which again, I warn you, if you remember, I gave everybody a few episodes to get used to the notion that Sound Off is uncensored. This is MM2K talking about gaming after leaving the bar, after coming home from the Hucklebuck. You know what I'm saying? Loafers on backwards, tied unloosened. Ginger and Jameson spilled all over my corduroys. This is unfiltered MM2K. But it's just ironic for those of you that did listen to that. How we've had publications, even other stuff like Stadia Google should close Stadia. We got people like my friend Winter Soldier. He goes by the name Will Sinks, formerly of a Xbox podcast called Xbox Uncut. I talked about them. They're huge in the history here and very instrumental in my ability to even be here. You know what I'm saying? Xbox Uncut. They supported me when we started our first podcast, Scram Punks, and came on the show. We came on there, and Will came on and did a special Xbox show with me a couple times. It was a great conversation. You can go check it all out on my MM2K videos channel. Just look for Will Sinks. But Will Sinks is one of those people. He loves Xbox, but it more or less he's a big RPG fanatic. People like Will Sinks, I feel bad for him that, he wants to make his focus on one console. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't oozing machismo or oozing money, so he can't buy a 95 console. So, he chooses to buy Xbox. And there's games like Ease 9 that he's just not going to see. Xbox just does not have that relationship at the moment. Not under Phil Spencer. You know what I mean? But luckily, our Phil Harrison has that relationship. He was living in Japan, and you know what I'm saying, and when he was with PlayStation, and that's great, and that's worked out in our favor. And we've got several NIS America games. We've gotten some great JRPGs on this platform, some to the which that Xbox may not ever see. So the people like Will Sinks, who deserves to be able to play those games, even though he can only afford to do but so much. When I hear people like Ron, I ain't gonna say his name. I said it plenty enough there. When I hear authors say that Stadia should be shut down, it's mind-boggling because their facts ain't straight. But then it's you're saying it has no value for people like Will, who he could on his Xbox he could just go to Stadia.google.com or just Stadia.com. Either play the 2-hour trial, or if he waits next month and signs up for Stadia Pro, he can get Ease 9. Can't beat that with a stick. And what I recommend to those of you, and I'm hoping Stadia is listening, because my recommendation is go after a lot of those JRPGs, even the older ones. They're timeless. Like that, I think that would be, I know we're in a shift, a pivot where getting the AAA games may be more of a challenge because of the porting and the effort and the lack thereof of appetite for that from some of these devs, right? And we got to get the porting toolkit up to par to where more people feel like doing it. I mean, MotoGP 20 was a good sign of that. Because if you play, well, MotoGP 21 is a good sign of that. I played MotoGP 21 and then I bumped it up against MotoGP 20. Not worlds apart as far as looks, but there's a significant difference in performance. So if you have a situation where MotoGP 21 wouldn't have been on this platform had it not been for that low, what do they call it, low channel porting or low cost porting, if it wasn't for that, the game wouldn't have been here. That means that they've had to put in minimum effort, and the game is a better output than the game that they had to manually develop. And it's only going to keep getting better from there. So while we're waiting on the AAA developers to embrace this and waiting for the toolkit to get better, my suggestion is go to these RPGs. These RPGs are timeless, man. They're timeless. And if what Stadia can be known for is, hey, look, you can get we got a whole slew of the top rated RPGs, turn-based or whatever. There's not a whole lot of resources there. Those are going to be easy ports too. But bring them over to Stadia. Yeah, man. That'll be great relationships to have. And you have people there, Jack Buser, and definitely Phil Harrison, that can help nail down those relationships. So great stuff nonetheless, man. Great stuff nonetheless. So, all right, let's continue on. Wow, really 1030 can't lace up my boots and it's on video. Oh, they going at it. Oh, hold on. 1030 says, I voted B and would have been GTA Elden Ring plus what we got. I get that. Yeah, I'm just leaving room for, the super smash. This was super smash. But I'm just leaving a little headroom for the super smash. Wrist locks for all says, what's up, good people? Good to see you, my friend. Sean L says, I'm waiting on Cold Steel 4. It's Cold Steel. Oh yeah, Cold Steel 4. I don't think it's on here. Yep. It might not be a grand slam, but it's definitely hell yeah, cloud validation. That's what I'm. Yeah. You hit it right in the. Yeah, it's a 2-run. I would say a 2-run homer. It's definitely a home run. At least a home run. Definitely. You ain't lying about that one, brother. If you lying, I'm flying. Yeah, you hit that one right on the nail. I like that. I rented Dying Light 2 and I wasn't a fan. After 2.5 hours, I sent it back. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people, Cowboy, are not liking the fact that you don't get a gun in this one. And I don't know how I feel about that one either. But for some reason I'm still hooked. When I read an article that's like, yeah, there's no guns in Dying Light 2. I was like, oh. So, I mean, maybe there's crossbows, there's melee weapons and stuff like that. But no gun? Let me see who else we got up in here. Ron Slusher, World War Z. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. You know what I'm saying, Slush? I'm happy. Octopath Traveler. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, if they get Octopath Traveler as a Stadia Pro game, woo, sheesh. And here's the thing. This is where it's more, Octopath Traveler was was in Game Pass, right? It launched in Game Pass on the platform, but it didn't stay in Game Pass. This is why this is the better model, in my opinion, because it's the most successful model. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the Stadia Pro, PlayStation Plus, even Xbox Live Gold model. I'm not talking about the catalog. I'm talking about the model. It's the better model. It's the most lucrative model because PlayStation Plus is doing way more than PlayStation Now. Xbox Live Gold has more subscribers than Game Pass. It's the better model, and I think Stadia did the right thing by emulating that model. And the thing that's so great about it is, if I can't get to Ease 9, ain't no rush. Ain't no rush. See, Game Pass is for a type of gamer that I can't relate to. There are gamers out here that they're like the Cookie Monster. He's not even eating that. It's not even hitting the taste bud. He's just using the back of his cardboard mouth. They just want to dibble and dabble and grab everything. It's in my hand. Like a lot of y'all that are complaining about games on Stadia, y'all ain't even gonna play them. Y'all not gonna play them. Y'all gonna get them. Y'all gonna look at them. Y'all gonna fiddle with the options. Baby, it's dinner time. Okay, and y'all ain't never gonna touch the damn game. Y'all ain't gonna touch it. Y'all just want to know that it's there so you can touch it. That's it. And that's the thing nowadays, is that a lot of quote unquote gamers, they dibble in this one, leave it alone, dibble in that one, leave it alone, dibble in this one, leave it alone. I can't relate. Nothing against them. I can't relate because even I don't get to finish the games that I want. And Stadia Pro has definitely helped me play games that I dibble dabble in. But ultimately, it's not about volume. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. I just want to know that a platform can provide me 4 to 5 games that I really want to play that I can hunker down in. Yes, it's great to see for the longevity of the platform that new stuff is coming and it's creating this library of that, because that's, a lot of, you're bringing on more people. That's great that way. And you got a little bit of everything for everybody. But me personally, I just want about 4 to 5 games I can hunker into and know I can play and enjoy, right? And those games for me are Madden, Division 2. What else do I play? I play PGA 2K21. What else do I play? And I was out of all the other games. I could really look it up. I could really pull up my. I don't want to put one out of order. Rage is another one. I love Rage. I love messing around in Rage. And there's one more. I can't think of it right now. And all the other games I can try. Control. Having those 4 games on the platform, yes, and I still love Rage. Having those games on the platform really do a lot for me. Enjoying the platform and knowing that I can get, at least I have access to these games. And everything else is like, okay, cool. I'm glad I got access to this too, that too. Shout out to the homie Geek to Sneak. Geek to Sneak with the $5 super chat. He says, I love Game Pass. I played a lot of different titles I would never have purchased. And I get that. I just don't want to be rushed. Like my experience with Game Pass, what turned me sour on Game Pass, I was turned sour on Game Pass as fast as I was positive about it. What turned me sour on Game Pass was one day it was right after Xbox had acquired Obsidian. I was a disgruntled Xbox gamer, but I wasn't fully out then. And then when Xbox bought Obsidian, I said, okay, there we go. So Obsidian developed games started to come into Game Pass. And I forgot that there was one game that I've always wanted to play that was co-developed by Obsidian, but it was always expensive, even used and all that other stuff. And it was like hard to get in, and it was in Game Pass for PC. And I said, oh, I can't wait to play this. So I actually went and got Game Pass for this game. Now, mind you, at the time, there were a couple of games that I wanted to play. I really played those games and was really working on them. And then I went to go, I want to say about maybe a month and a half later, I went to go play this game. Game was already coming out of Game Pass. I said, what? I said, number one, that's not, that's not long enough for an RPG game like this. Like an RPG, even if I would have played this game day one, the way I like to play RPGs, I would have never got halfway through the damn game. And for two, this is developed by Obsidian. You couldn't get this game in here longer? And it's just as quick as I was like, oh man, okay, now I'm going to invest in Game Pass. I was turned sour on it. That's just my experience, though. That's my experience. Let me see what else we got here. Let's get to some more chat. Mo chat. 1030 Media Group says, if they give us a bump in any spec and somehow not raise the price of $5 and bring EA Play 2, woo. Yeah, I'm not. Hold on one second. After last SLS, y'all know how I feel about the whole hardware talk discussion. I'm not there yet. Definitely as big as I was, but I'm not there yet because now we're starting to see what the bottlenecks were. And the bottlenecks were the porting. Like right now, Stadia, when it was the way it was designed, and I think the way that it was going to be grown was based upon long-term stuff. Like right now, it was just going to exist. They had enough partnerships, they felt like, and enough games coming to where it would garner enough gameplay, and they felt like would get a lot of people on board. The problem with that is I think there was a big monkey wrench thrown in their play. I think it was COVID and the delays. Like, you guys got to remember that Stadia was supposed to, like, within like 3 months of its existence, or the first 6 months, of its existence, we were supposed to not only get Doom, but we were supposed to get Cyberpunk. We were supposed to get Marvel. We were supposed to get Ubisoft Plus now, or Uplay Plus as it was back then. And all those games and the Ubisoft Plus got pushed back. It got pushed back. So the only thing that remained was Doom. And remember, there was Stadia's had 60 days of silence. They had to scramble and figure out what the hell they're going to do next. And they were really in scramble mode and quiet mode. You could tell they were at white chalkboard mode because that million subscribers or million monthly active users was in real danger. You know what I mean? And that's probably a proposal they gave the partners. So as that stuff got pushed back and they're trying to scramble and find ways to make up for this, they're starting to realize too that the thing that's going to sustain them ain't, for a long time, it's not going to be making your own games. Like, you're really not going to benefit from making your own games for years from now. You got some time before cloud native games really become a thing. Ubisoft is telling you that they're working on their technology and no one expected for a decade. And they're the ones that came out and said something. Sega did sign a deal with Microsoft to utilize their technology in order to do that, to make some cloud native games as well. But this is years from now. So I think what happened is that Stadia realized that, hey, you know, we got to have a plan for now, because our current plan for now ain't good. So they changed some things. You know what I'm saying? Start with SG&E and you know, doubling down on their third-party relationships, their relationships with developers. This is what you see them trying to flourish right now. You know what I'm saying? And so even though we had the developers, of course, talk about, oh yeah, I've seen that Stadia ray tracing. We had Mantis Games here on this channel talk about, oh yeah, I've seen the AK120. But what Mantis said, I think, is very true. It's like, is developers going to develop towards that goal? And the fact that they're not developing towards Stadia's capabilities right now under the current configuration, I think a lot of us know that they're not going to do it with the new hardware, not just yet. They got to get that tool set together. See, that's the thing about GFN. Why GFN is experiencing its success as far as its acclaim right now is because they made sure that the porting process was seamless. So they had the software side all together. And then they were going to work on the output capabilities, where we were big on the output capabilities, but the software side, the development side wasn't together. It's not, I mean, they tell you when you talk to developers, they say it's not hard, it's not cumbersome, but when you're asking for a low ceiling business to port over heavily anticipated games, that's a big ask during COVID, during the launch of new platforms, and again during a time period where this business has a low ceiling. So you gotta make sure that your porting process is super, super easy, where normally a console wouldn't have to worry so much about that because they have a bigger target under their helm as far as people that are going to play on their platform. Cloud gaming just has a low ceiling. The general gaming public is not there yet. So it's important to understand that. And Stadia realized, okay, in the long term, what we have to offer is going to be much grander than a lot of people around us. But right now, in order for us to to get some of these subsidies from these gamers, even though it's a small ceiling, to be part of this 1.5 billion or 3 billion in 2021, in order for us to get a significant chunk out of that, we got to make porting easier now. So everything went into that. And then subsidizing the efforts with the business to business. I don't say white labeling here, I say business to business. But you just said it, M2K. Well, that's the last damn time I'm gonna say it. I don't use that term to shore up the business to business. So we gotta remember that. We gotta remember that right now, even though we've had developers come on and say, look, man, it's different, it causes headaches, but they said development altogether cause headaches. And they said that it's not any harder than anything. In a lot of ways, it was easier once you figure out what to do, but that figuring out what to do is too cumbersome right now. Again, A, for a platform that ain't gonna help keep the lights on, B, or for a business rather, that ain't going to keep the lights on. B, during COVID, and C, during the transition to new platforms, and we got to learn them too. So hopefully now we better understand why Stadia changes things. And they did make some pivots, but they didn't pivot away from retail. They just realigned their resources to better align for now and the future. Now, once we start getting into cloud native games, it's plausible to see Stadia working with developers to make those cloud native games, or for them maybe to get back into getting studios. But right now, because they're a cloud platform, the claim to fame with a cloud platform is ease of port. Like, can you imagine, and then I'm gonna drop it and continue to go back to the chat. What if GFN required development instead of just having a quick boom 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 port? What if it required months and months of development like Stadia? Do you think you'd be seeing all these games on Stadia? I mean, on GFN? Do you think that the 3080 tier would even be plausible? No. Because they wouldn't be doing it for it. And what makes it worse for GFN is you would have developers working to port their games over to a platform, or make their games work on a platform that's really a conduit. They don't have their own store. They're not selling these games. They're really just they're just giving you access to a computer in the sky. So you really wouldn't see. So GFN did the right thing in focusing on the porting. So did xCloud, focusing on the porting. We know Stadia's output has way more capabilities. Like, everybody's talking about the 3080 tier. Like, Mantis Games ain't let us know last year that they've already seen the 8K 120 capabilities. Go read the Stadia Source article. Shout out to them. And we interviewed them here, and they told us the same thing. The 8K 120 is already there. They've already seen it. It's just a matter of people optimizing their games for it. So, just some interesting things to keep. So that's why I don't talk about the hardware part of it. I don't talk about the hardware part because we got to get the porting part together right. And they're working on it, and hopefully we can get it in a good spot by the end of this year, where, again, porting your game to Stadia, because we're going to be relying on ports for years. For the first few years here, we're going to be relying on ports. Porting your game to Stadia will be close to as easy as getting it to run on GFN or Luna. And you still get the great output. All right. Those are my thoughts on that. All right, let's continue on. True Geek, the only problem I see with Game Pass is discovery. If you're only using it for big titles, others might get missed. Project Storm says, man, bump that ish up. It's time. What up, y'all? Shout out to Project Storm. Says, I dabble until I find a game that hooks me. When a game hooks me, I sink hours into it. Ron Slusher said, it took me 1 year to beat Resident Evil Village. I can't keep up with those third-party Game Pass games. And now your mama knows, says, if Stadia stayed with the original plan, it was going to be very expensive. Yeah. It would have been very expensive, and I don't know if we like what we see. Do they get out? No, but I then think that this just becomes Ubisoft in the cloud. I think they just, this just becomes Ubisoft Plus. Right. So I totally agree with that. Suda says, speaking of porting, the low change porting is huge and will only get better. Stadia is fixing their Achilles heel, and once it's available to every publisher, man, oh man, yeah, that's the claim to fame. When they get that that low change porting up, then it'll be plausible for the hardware to get up. Oh, that's what. Now I get what Storm is saying. Bam up that Storm. Nah, bro. Because here's what you're doing. You're setting yourself up, and you're setting other gamers up for failure. The problem isn't the hardware. We've already had developers that while working on Stadia. Here, let me do this. Because I had this up for. Remember this? This was April 2020. Dev gives praises to Stadia 2.0 over Xbox Series X. Stadia is not even trying to bunk with Xbox Series X right now. They told you. They're trying to be the in-between people. But see, this is somebody who developed a game on series or on 2.0 plates that gave it the time and the development effort. Ubisoft ain't gonna do that. EA ain't gonna do that. Stadia's not keeping the lights on for them. So what's gonna happen is, if Ubisoft were to give in, if Stadia were to give in and say, all right, man, Storm is right, man. Let's upgrade this hardware. They upgrade the hardware, and the developers are still giving you upscale from 1080p 4K. You still ain't getting a flat 60 frames per second. Is that going to bode well? No. Just because you have more quote unquote headroom, which I hate that term, but just because you have more headroom doesn't mean that it automatically scales up the code. You got to have more effort. They're not putting effort in the base platform. So what that notion makes everybody believe that they're going to get something that they're not going to get because you have to code for that. Just because there's extra capabilities doesn't mean that you just plug it in and you hit a button and then boom, it just upscales it. It don't work like that. That was already proven wrong when Phil Spencer tried to give us that crap. It's just gonna scale up. You know what I'm saying? And it don't work like that. You gotta program it up. If you don't program it up, it ain't happening. And they're not programming for Stadia right now. Why? And it makes sense because it's a 1% business. It's not hard to program for Stadia, but it's hard, it's cumbersome enough to where it's deriving too much time and too much resources from me developing on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So I'm not doing it, or if I am doing it, I'm gonna do the bare minimum and get the game out. You gotta get the software first. Then, when the software is together first, and I don't want to say effortless because that would be a lie, and the effort is minimized severely, then you can say, okay, well, here goes the hardware. You only got to do a little bit more to maximize. Then it makes sense for the hardware. Bringing that hardware out now, all you're doing is lying to yourself. You lying to yourself, and you lying to other people that want them upgrades. I give credit to GFN because they ensured, because of what they are a conduit, they ensured that the porting process was extra seamless, and that's vital for them. And if that porting process wasn't seamless, they would have brought up the 3080 tier and games would still be running like they was on GFN free. Because ain't nobody, if they're not developing for Stadia, they really ain't developing for GFN because GFN ain't paying nobody to bring their games over. Here's what's happening. Epic Games is saying, look, Work with us. Make your game available on us. We'll not only give you the 85-15 split, and this is when you really started seeing games skyrocket on GFN. But we can have short-term memory. We got to remember this stuff. When they said we're going to not only give you the 85-15 split, but we'll give you an extra incentive if you release your game on GFN. And if you release your game on GFN and you get that extra incentive, you got to sign this contract, meaning you ain't taking it, you take it or leave it. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You ain't going to take your game off there. And as long as you don't take the game off there, all these incentives that we'll give you will stay. So you take that on, along with the fact that games that ain't even part of that whole Epic Game Store thing, the porting is easy. And the argument is you're just opening your game access to more people, so we ain't got to pay you. We're just giving you means to more customers. So you'll get paid when they buy your code from Green Man Gaming or whatever. We're just giving people more access. A lot of people are onto that. A lot of people like Capcom or whoever just said, no, hell no, it won't go. Take-Two said, no, we ain't with that. We ain't digging that. We don't like that proposal. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, why would Epic do that? We've already told you here. Epic, GFN, and Tencent, who was the core between all this, worked exclusively together on some big stuff. Tencent is a majority, well, I don't want to say a majority, they're a minority owner of Epic, which is vital to Epic caring about GFN. Why? Because GFN is working with Tencent on Tencent's version of GFN in China. You see how they're intertwined there. So that's where Epic came in and said, all right, well, now we're going to leverage our favorability of our business model, and we're going to loop GFN on here, on this. But none of that is possible. None of it. The 3080 tier, none of that is possible if the porting process isn't seamless. None of it is possible. You can release the 3080 tier out there, but if you got to sit there and tweak stuff for months to get your game on there like you have to do for Stadia, nobody's utilizing it. Nothing scales up. That's not how this works. So I urge my brethren and sisterin that want to see better performance on Stadia to fight for better porting. Then the hardware can come. The meat don't go on top of the bread. It goes in between the bread for it to be a sandwich. I'm not arguing against better output. The methodology that you guys are arguing for is erroneous. It's wrong. The porting has to get better. When the porting gets better, then it'll make sense to roll out the hardware. That's why I'm not talking about Stadia 2.0 anymore. I know I got an article up on the screen when we talk about it, but I'm not talking about it no more. Why? Because now that they've been transparent on what the issues were and the issues that are paramount to right now, which cloud gaming is about ports. Yeah, you're behind. Your output technology may be superior, but your ability to upgrade your hardware and your ability to get games is hampered by the fact that the porting, even though it's not ridiculous, it's even been told to us. You heard the developers yesterday live on air tell you that it's actually in parts it really easier than dealing with the other consoles. But guess what? The other consoles keep the lights on. So of course we'll deal with their issues of developing for them. But y'all, y'all ain't keeping the lights on. So y'all gotta, if we're gonna entertain y'all, the porting process has to be seamless, period. And that's where we're at. Stadia recognized that. They realized that even though long term, that there's going to be a big favorability gap for them, we're not there yet. We're still years away. So they got to get the porting process together. They got to get the porting process together so they're not left behind, and to get more games on the platform. And your mama knows says, if we said there was an AK-120 Stadia game, people wouldn't believe in and laugh. PlayStation, Xbox struggle with that. So Stadia doesn't off to do more right now. You're right now, and Cowboy, that's what Mantis Games even said. Mantis Games said, look, right now, like, you guys are trying to be the in-between. Like, your cloud gaming is just simply trying to pick off people that are disenfranchised from the mainstream gaming. So y'all having to run neck and neck with PlayStation, Xbox isn't needed right now. I dare to say, and I'm glad to see GFN finally marketing stuff right, is I wouldn't even fit GFN into that. Opposed to a cloud platform or a real cloud platform, GFN is a cloud service that gives you access to a PC. So it makes sense for them to want to be on that stage today, currently, because really that's their core demographic. It's not necessarily the average cloud gamer. The people that make up the 15 million that have come across the platform are not cloud gamers. They are people, the majority of them are people that wanted to play their PC game while they were away from home. Now you're trying to figure out how to capitalize on that group, which is a lot bigger than cloud gamers at the moment and will be for years, and how to get them onto your service. And what you do is you advertise your service to atypical dedicated device gamers who can't upgrade. That's what you need to do. Get out of this whole cloud gaming space and say, look, we happen to be a service that happens to run on the cloud, but we're really for PC gamers. That and we started to see some advertising go towards that in the past week. That's GFN's claim to fame. All this trying to pick off people in the Stadia community and do this and do that. To me, that's a waste of resources. It is mind-boggling. The PC gaming community dwarfs what cloud gaming could be for years now. You need to say, look, we're out of cards. Cards are hard to find, even our cards. You want to upgrade, PC gamers, we make it easier for you to play at ultimate performance without having to worry about availability or cost. They need to market primarily to the PC gaming market. Forget this whole cloud gaming thing. So it's a diversion. And shout out to Main Games. The way he described it on Saturday Checkup is it's like the look right, look left syndrome. I'm looking at what the people are doing next to me, and I'm just focusing there. Meanwhile, you're siloed. You're for PC gamers. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense for them, but for cloud gamers right now, they don't need that PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X performance right now, but they need good performance. Like, we should be seeing 4K 60 games that are smooth. You know what I'm saying? We need to be seeing those. We know that they're capable of it. We just got to see more of it. And we'll see more of it when the developers have an incentive to provide it. They have an incentive to provide it. when the porting process becomes simplified. Suna says, if possible, instead of upgrading the Stadia, engineers should figure out how to keep that 120 frames per second signal when it hits your house. That would be crazy. Yeah, they would have to, I think they would have to upgrade. I'm referring back to the Mantis Games interview that we did here, and also that was done with StadiaDosage. Yeah, it's about control, because they tell you the frames are uncontrollable at times on Stadia, so you got to do you got to tweak it to get them stable. And I think it's a matter of when the codecs are ready too. I think the codecs will play a large part into that. It says, heads up, Cyberpunk update 1.52 out on Stadia with more aggressive crowds on Stadia. That'll be interesting. I want to see that. Storm says, as soon as live, I would be fine with that. Just give the people who care some of what we are getting elsewhere. Well, it's not a flip of a switch. There's something they got to work for. They got to work towards, and it's more of hold on. It's more of, I think I got it up. It's more which a lot of us got to be resigned with this as a fact. It's more of this. They're the same. There's some people that are going to look at this and look at certain milestones and be like, you know what, this ain't for me, and they're just going to have to come back at a later time. I think for a lot of people who primary focus on Stadia was the performance with every single new game coming out. This is your roadmap. For those that was asking for, where's the roadmap? This is your roadmap. You're gonna have to come back. They made a focus earlier on that was based off some things that didn't take into consideration all of the ports coming and making that situation seamless. And I get a lot of that was based upon not realizing that COVID would have the impact that it had. Well, it's not too hard to develop for Stadia, because Stadia is just a stripped down version of Linux. You know what I'm saying? It ain't too complicated. Again, we just talked to a developer yesterday that told us it's easier to develop for Stadia than it is for other platforms. But we absorb the extra work that we got to do on them other platforms because they're keeping the lights on. Y'all came out of the gate not focused on the porting aspect of it. That's what you got to fix. And it's going to take some time to fix that. So until then, if you feel like that you're getting something better elsewhere and you're enjoying it, if you like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this is not a flip of a switch situation. It's, as a gamer, you got to do what you got to do as a gamer. But as a share of information, you got to inform the people of what's going on. You can't put the sandwich out of order. The meat doesn't go on top. Here's what's going on. And hopefully, sooner rather than later, they can build on the tools, get the porting process up to par, and then they can go ahead and make the upgrades. But again, we're still in the early phases. Like me, for instance, I want 4K I would love to have 4K from GFN was the first service that I got that I really put at the top. Here, let me show y'all something. Because y'all be like, oh, MM2K, you capping. Hold on. MM2K NDA. All right. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here it go, right here. God dang, that was easy as hell. Check this out. This is before I had a Stadia retail product in my hand. This is November 15th. I still didn't have Stadia in my hand yet. All I knew was Project Stream. And Project Stream, I wasn't super impressed with it. But I was doing regular cloud tests for a whole year. This was my tweet. I said, after testing the cloud remote services, here's a high-level ranking by performance. NDA Platform 1, which at the time was GFN. NDA Platform 2, which was Shadow. 3 was Stadia, PlayStation 4, Project xCloud, and Steam Link. So before I even had a Stadia on there, it wasn't like, oh, I'm throwing all my chips in the Stadia bag and I gotta stay here. Oh! From what my experience was with Stadia at the time, it was 3. Then I got it in my hand. But for the games that I play, which are mainly the Ubisoft games, yeah, did I like to see Far Cry 6 at 30? No. Did I like to see Riders Republic at 30? No. But I'm still playing Division. I'm still playing Borderlands. I'm still playing what's that? Rainbow Six Extraction. Dibble and dabble every now and again in Siege. Assassin's Creed Valhalla now has a 60 frames per second. You know what I'm saying? So the games that I really wanted to play, opposite Immortals Phoenix Rising, the only other game that I would say that I need to see the 60 frames per second on before I even touch it on Stadia is Watch Dogs Legion. But primarily most of the games that I'm playing are at the performance that I want to see them at on Stadia. And I like what GFN is doing, but for me, I started off praising GFN the most, and I had to step away when they weren't doing what I wanted them to do. Like I want to have the ability to play 4K without me investing another $200 on a device that I got to lug with me if I want to play it on another TV. They don't have that yet. When they get that, then I might reinvest. That price is still steep for me. I might reinvest in GFN. Just like I don't have Game Pass right now. I don't have xCloud. There's nothing in xCloud that presents anything that I want. Even though I'm hearing that the performance is getting better, there's nothing there that I want to play. Now, when I get that Stalker 2, yeah, I'm back on there. So with all these platforms, they're all falling short on something because these are the early years. I'm willing to reinvest in them, play them, do whatever. And when they're not providing what I want, not playing them, reinvesting them, they're not going anywhere. But as long as I understand that I can't, like for Xbox, I can't sit there and wish Stalker 2 into existence tomorrow. I gotta wait. There's a Ukrainian war. You know what I'm saying? I gotta wait. I can't. Look, the CEO of GFN or the president of GFN said, even before we explore the possibility of 4K without this, what's it called? Without the NVIDIA Shield, there's gotta be a release of new codecs. I can't wish that into existence today. I gotta wait. We want to see better performance on Stadia because we know what it's capable of, and we know that there's got to be better output for a lot of us to be entertained. I get it. You gotta wait. It's no different from any of these other platforms. There are things for consumers that you're gonna have to wait. It doesn't mean I don't feel that xCloud is doomed. I don't feel that GFN is doomed. I just gotta wait. That's all. And the same with Stadia. A lot of people's gonna come across Stadia and discover what? You gotta wait. Jack Busey even told you, you gotta wait. These platforms are in their early years. They're figuring things out. They're fixing their issues. And in some cases, you gotta wait. Storm says, love me or hate me, but do believe I'm going to ask them for upgrades. Always do not think like Project Storm. I'm just one cloud gamer. Yeah, we just got to make sure. What I don't want to do is I don't want to give people false hopes. Because if you ask them for upgrades before they, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like if you're working on a car. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, look, man, just rebuild that engine, and things are gonna be all right. Well, if the alternator's still bad, then you got other stuff to do, or you're still not gonna be able to turn the car on. So it's just, I want to make sure that when we talk about upgrades, why I'm not even talking about 2.0 anymore. I want to make sure that we tell the whole story. Doing upgrades, if they were to, we already know that 2.0 exists. If we were to put out there tomorrow, it fixes nothing. It fixes nothing. So I want to make sure that everybody's aware of that. Get to where you can do upgrades. I want them to put upgrades out to fix stuff. It fixes nothing. They got to get that porting together. I need to see a roadmap. I just showed you the roadmap. Wrist locks for all. Drawn such as not all GFN games have controller support or even work on mobile 5G. I mean, yeah, the claims, everybody does this. To be fair to GFN, everybody does this. Everybody makes claims and they're not universal. So yeah, every game, like I would look, and to be fair to the Stadia Reddit, we make it, which it is. Stadia Reddit sometimes can be comical. But have you been in the GFN Reddit? Like, oh my God, or even when GFN announced that that they were releasing the monthly tier, nobody was like, yay, GFN, like how you see in state, yay, GFN, that's what's up. Oh, that's cool, that's dope. Everybody was complaining in the thread. They were all filled with complaints. So as someone that has done customer service for a long time, what I can tell you is that very rarely do you hear from people when they want to compliment you. When they want to show off something cool that you happen to have provided, that's different. But very rarely do people reach out to you when they want to compliment you. And Reddit is looked at as a way to reach out to an entity. So they get it in GFN just as much as they get it in Stadia. But one thing that GFN isn't filled with is a bunch of outside people that really don't have access to GFN just hating on the platform. Stadia Reddit is filled with that. They are working the best way that they can to resolve that, but they Storm says, my issue is I always haven't been that I've gotten the meat for my Stadia sandwich. 4K 60 is hard to come by in most games that I love, and I'm supposed to be cool with that. It's like asking customers to go eat elsewhere. Where do they do that at? So, okay, so if you feel like that you haven't gotten a 4K 60 that you were looking for, the same thing applies. Gotta go elsewhere until you do get the 4K 60. I don't feel like that I've gotten the smooth experience, the convenient experience that I know is capable via Stadia on GFN since Stadia launched. Haven't gotten it. I'm not ruling out that I'm never going back to GFN. Where do they do that at? This is supposed. So you're a cloud gaming entity, and you want to poach people in the cloud community, and you want to focus so much on being in the cloud community, but yet you're worst in convenience. Where, let me show y'all something else. We've already been here. We've polled over 1,600 cloud gamers out of their respective Reddits and elsewhere. And we've asked them, what is the most important thing to you? And by overwhelming majority, 44% of them said convenience. 23% of them said performance. And 22% of them said cost. So if I'm looking at GFN, your last You're dead last. And the number one thing, let's play for devil's advocate because I won't use my experience. Listen, and you're first in this thing, but then you're dead last again in cost. Where do you do that at? Where do you try to go into the cloud gaming demo and carve out a name there, and you're dead last out of 2 of the 3 major pillars? Guess what? It's okay, because GFN is on a different lane. Really, they shouldn't even be here in the cloud gaming lane. They are an extension of a way to do PC gaming. So if you felt like that you're not getting a sandwich out of there, I've invested a lot of money in GFN. Never got the sandwich out of there. Got to go elsewhere. That's it. That's it. Where do you tell cloud gamers, oh, you know what? We're going to be 2 out of the 3 pillars. We'll be first here, but we're going to be last elsewhere. Where do you tell cloud gamers that? See, you see how you got to look at your argument storm and see how it applies to everything. So I get what you're saying. You want to see more things that you like out of Stadia. You just got to go elsewhere. Just like GFN told me, even though I adored the service for years, I got to go elsewhere now. Because I'm not part of their core game, their core demographic. You can't be everything to everybody, and it's okay. At some point in time, GFN's going to get better, Stadia's going to get better, and xCloud's going to get better. And then there'll be more for a broader reach. But when you're new, you can't be everything to everybody. Like when Xbox first came out here, Xbox was the hardcore bro box. That was the claim to fame. Now they for everybody. That's just atypical business. So I can take that same argument and run it versus GFN. But it's okay. GFN's still going to be around and they're still going to be okay, regardless if they started off for me, but they shifted somewhere else. He says, if an influx of games aren't in front of my face, then at least give a brother a bump. I love Storm. I can't keep having this conversation with him. I love you, Storm. You can go live. You can have a conversation. Again, I refuse. I agree with you that I want to see better performance out of Stadia. I want to see it. But we don't get to bump with hardware. That's a superficial stroking of the mane that's going to do nothing but make it worse. It's been said over 1,000 times, 1 billion times, that Stadia's problem is this porting. They're dead last in the porting process, where everybody else made sure that their porting process was smooth. They got to fix the porting. When they fix the porting, then they could upgrade. When they fix the porting, then you're going to start seeing the better performance, because it's not going to be cumbersome, in spite of COVID and all this other stuff, to tweak the output of the game, right? Where you're not going to necessarily need a Q lock or whatever. But then when the porting process becomes less cumbersome, then you can roll the hardware out. We've had developers, Storm, you was there when Mantis sat there and told us this. Brother, I don't know if you had some of the yak. I don't know if the Old Milwaukee, you won an Old Milwaukee contest where you get a lifetime supply, but we sat here with Mantis games where they told us this. I think when they were talking about, there has been talk for some time that Google could upgrade Stadia's hardware and the data centers. Do you think it's something they could or will do? Yes, where physical consoles require the users to buy new hardware every few years, It will all depend on the platform's popularity if Google will be willing to invest. Side note, if they do upgrade, I think it'll be possible for the first people to be able to take advantage of this will be the Stadia Pro subscribers. So if Stadia gets popular enough with the developers And they're like, okay, I'm willing to stretch this puppy out. Then you'll start seeing better output. That then reasons for hardware. Hardware alone doesn't fix anything. You expecting hardware to fix something is and proclaiming that is cool if you want to do it. But we can't sell that here because that's giving people false hope. They got to get the porting process up to par. Everybody's been saying that. Even Stadia's just giving up. They said, you know what? All right, the porting process was horrible. Okay, that's what it is. Everybody's been saying that. We got to get off of hardware 2.0 for now. Because it's not going to fix anything. And we're not going to sell people false hope here. Still love you, brother. Get off the yak. Avery Bobo. Oh, shout out to Avery Bobo with the $20. I appreciate you, good brother. Thank you for the $20 sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. With that said, he says Storm is sipping that Henny. You've upgraded. Now you on the Henny. Well, if you got a lifetime supply of old Milwaukee, I'll take it. Beggars ain't choosy. He says, that's my point. 23% is not 1% to cater. Huh? That's probably, brother. Are you reading this right? Are you reading this right, brother? Get off that Henny. Get up, put the Henny down. It's too strong. We old Milwaukee men, man. We ain't young bucks like we used to. 44% of the cloud gamers polled want convenience. My argument is, I could say the same thing that you're saying about Stadia to GFN. Why isn't GFN focusing on convenience? They're not focused, they're still dead last in convenience. So I could say to you, it's shame on GFN. They're not doing what they need to do on convenience. Bunk them. Where you look at it and you say, well, it's fine for me because you fit their demographic. They can't be everything. GFN can't be everything to everybody. That's why I told them they need to get out of the whole cloud marketing space and get in the PC gaming space. But they're not going to lose any sleep if MM2K isn't part of their demo. And in return, I hate to say this, Stadia's not going to lose any sleep if anybody that's like, well, look, I gotta have that 4K 60 is not part of their demo. Their demo is the casual or the tech enthusiast that likes playing with the tech as it advances. If somebody else comes out with something, they might get that too, but they're not going to lose any sleep over Stadia not having it anymore, or Stadia not being the best at latency or being able to do 120 frames per second. I want these platforms I want to be able to play all of them too. I would love to be able to play the Bethesda games on xCloud. It just ain't for me yet. It'll get there. I would love to be able to play Dying Light 2 on GFN. It ain't for me yet. Because I don't want to play at no damn 1440p max resolution. It's too ashy for me. I don't want to do textures or not. I don't want to do it. I've already been there and done that. I've already done the 1440p playing with the homie Man Samua. Shout out to the Broadband Bullies. We was doing 120 frames, 150 frames, 200 frames per second. I got bored of it. I like my 4K signal. Dynamic upscaled. I like it. Sharper image gives me better opportunity to upgrade my my bit rate. I mean, I get better results from it from my bit rate upgrades. All that stuff. Then I want GFN to work on this consistency. When I play, I get screen tears, I get stutters, stuff that I never get on Stadia. Now that's me. That's my experience. But still, I'm getting it. I'm not going to sit there and pay $20 a month because somebody else is getting a good experience. They're not giving me what I want. So until they get better and give me what I want, I gotta wait. That's all. Gotta wait. Now, what I will say towards that is I want to see better output from Stadia. I want for them, like I've said in the previous recording, that I want them to I wanted to see maybe 30 developers using a porting toolkit. So hopefully they're plugging as much resources as they can to get that low charge port, large, whatever it is, low charge porting up to speed as fast as they can, because I want to see better output. I just know that the better output isn't tagged to hardware. It's not. Everybody and their mamas come out Stadia and they threw their hands up in the air. They done dropped the potato salad on the floor. They said, "Oh baby, the gig is up, baby." Yeah, our porting wasn't horrible, but it wasn't accommodating to developers while they're going through what they're going through. Where the other platforms, their porting was more accommodating. We got to get where they're at with the porting. That's it. So, with that said, y'all know I got notes on. I got notes on. I got notes on demand. Where the hell he come up with these graphs and stuff? Why I got all these damn graphs? With that said, I want to thank everybody for coming out. We're supposed to do this till 5. That's all right. We had a lot of fun. Shout out to the brother Storm. Check out Storm. And Storm dropped the link to your channel. Check out Storm and all his GFN glory. You can check it out on PNTSnetwork.com. Or you can go directly to his YouTube page. Look up Project Storm. All right. Check it out. Also, we're always I want to say this. There's a couple of things happening. First and foremost, for those of you that were used to the new Discord, we're getting used to it. Something happened, unfortunately, and the Discord had to be laid to rest. The new Discord. We still have the old original PNTS. Well, we got a new one that's coming. And this new one's going to be rocking. Y'all going to like this new one. Definitely. If you like the new one, you're going to like the new one. All right. So we're going to give you information on that. And you'll be able to go to the website, or there's going to be a link here where you can interact with the, there's going to be a link here where you can interact and sign up for the new Discord and all that other stuff. So stay tuned for that. Also, we're doing more to provide more resources for the community. There is a new page coming to PNTS Network. If you're a content creator, you're going to be very, very interested in this page. You're going to love this page. Comes. Trying to expand our horizons. We're getting into something new. This is going to be something big for us. I think if you're a content creator, you're going to adore this page, because you're going to get you're going to get access to some high quality things. Okay. So something high quality. I'll put it like that. All right, so be on the lookout for that. All right. So, what we got lined up for tomorrow? Besides the stream, like again, Storm just dropped his link in the chat. Check out Project Storm. If you're not signed up to Project Storm, sign up to him right now. Make sure, and if you are signed up, check the notification bell. Make sure that his notification bell is on so you know when he's going live. We already got Storm set up in the new Discord, so every time he drops one of his 80 videos a day, you can get notifications to my brother be dropping mad content. So definitely be ready to check it out. And tomorrow, I got an SDO daily, I believe, but I'm gonna be playing some more Division. So you can check me out on StadiaDosage streams. Also, check out Squid. Chill Times with Squid. Check him out tomorrow morning around 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we'll be back Thursday with a brand new SSC podcast. That's with our panel, me, Peter Cottontail, Ninja Guy X, and for those of you that may not be aware, Main Games said he's going to join the lobby. Well, what that means is when Main Games can hop in, he'll hop in. I think I think he streams in the first half, so he's going to hop in on the second half. But we'll see. And he got family stuff to do, so we'll see when he can come in. But he's been added to the lobby, so he joins John and Clive and Smock. Friday we're going to have the recording of oh Jesus Christ, I can't believe I wanted to say SSC podcast. No, not SSC. The recording of Saturday Checkup with Daryl Smock. That's going to be for the members live again, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday. All right, so check in for that. And we got the results of our poll. Let's check out our poll. The poll. Let's see how controversial my picks on the poll was. Okay, so what do you rank this week on Stadia blog? 58% is A. 24% said B, 14% said C, and then you had one jackass though. You had one person say it was a D. So appreciate all of y'all for participating. And as always, till next time, y'all have a wonderful gaming day. Now it's time for me to eat dinner with my wife. Peace.